Hello and welcome to GlitchCube. We're a gaming podcast, and each week we take a deeper look into the art of video games. As always, I'm Christian.
And I'm Chris.
And welcome back, everybody. Thank you guys for joining us once again as we dive further into the world of games. So we got some good ones to talk about this week. We've both been, chugging along, playing some different games out there. Some new ones that have just popped up that I had no idea about, but man, they are pretty damn good, actually. So I'm pretty excited to talk about a couple of them. And I got one surprising backlog game that I have never played this series, and I'm excited to kind of jump into it. So started playing that too, but we'll talk about that one in a little bit. Anyway, do you want to start us off with what you're playing this week?
Yeah. So the games I'm going to talk about, they weren't originally on my list for the plan of the year. Mm-hmm. These were games I had started though, and I just kind of walked away from them. But so one that I walked away was Sackboy's Big Adventure.
Okay.
For people that don't know Sackboy, it's Little Big Planet. This was a little different than that, right? This is more like a Mario 3D kind of game where it's like you go to a stage, you can find hidden orbs, outfits, and there's a progression, right? There's 4 worlds, I think, and then each one has a boss, bunch of stages in each one. And
I was obsessed with Little Big Planet, and
See, I never really played them back in the day. So I own 3, but I've never touched it. I think I played the first game. I like the idea behind them.
I think I 100%ed the first game. I just needed everything. I wanted every sticker. I wanted every costume. I just kind of went crazy with that game.
Damn.
And it was an interesting game too, because it was one that I was able to get my mom to play. Right? It was kind of funny. Where just anybody who saw it was yeah, I'll jump in and play. Right? There was no, I guess, fear behind it, which I think was really cool.
It's got a cute aesthetic to it, I think that's something I always kind of liked about it. And with this game, it's different. I feel like I played pretty much the whole game in co-op, and it's funny because I would say 75% of the game I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a very good one of these kind of games. And then towards the end, the difficulty ramped up in kind of a weird way. Mm-hmm. At least when I was trying to get all the orbs. Towards the end, I was I'm just going to golden path it and just get out of these stages and get to the boss, which then made it a lot easier. But, if someone's looking for a good, Mario 3D World kind of game where there's stages and you can run around on them and stuff, I think this is good. I think there are times where I'm it's weirdly difficult to the point where I don't think a kid would probably get it right away. When you think about a Mario game, they just kind of work and they're kind of obvious about what you have to do to get something.
Right.
This one would have really well hidden stuff, which is cool, but I don't know. To me, it's good. I wouldn't say it's great. I think the way the stages interact with the music being played is interesting. And I think the boss fights are actually kind of enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I was kind of I'm happy I beat it. Just because these kind of games I love. So I get a little judgmental on them because, it's one of the few genres I've actually played a lot of. And this one, I liked it. I think, the person I was playing with ended up really disliking it at the end. But I think playing the last few stages on my own and kind of just getting back into the groove of it, I didn't mind it so much. And I think if someone's looking for a 3D kind of platform game and it's on sale, I would say like really cheap, I'd say maybe check it out. You know, I wouldn't pay full price for it, but it's a good one of those kind of games if you're looking for it, even though I feel like in this day and age, we have a lot of these games. Because this game, I think, came out early PS5, so like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. So, I mean, there's been a lot of good games since then that have come out that have this style that I would probably recommend over it. But it's been on my list for so long, and I'm trying to just clean out all these games that I have like half finished or installed. And I was like, I feel like one of these, because in between these lists, I've been trying to knock out some co-op games on my backlog, which I forgot to add to my list. But, you know, it was good to knock this one out. So, happy about that. But now it makes me want to play Little Big Planet 3 to check it out.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I never played Adventures, but like the original, like the actual Little Big Planet games are just really, really fun. Like they could be, they're simple, but they're really easy to get into, right? Like Berry Adventure is not too bad, and like they're so fast paced. Like, yeah, it makes it so that you might have to replay some stages again a couple times because you're gonna just like blast through some stuff because you might be just like running your ass off and things blow up around you and right, like that kind of thing. Like the stages are so dynamic, it definitely makes it more interesting that way. So, yeah. And the aesthetic is great, right? Like, I mean, Sackboy is amazing. He's a great little character there. I love it. He's a good little guy.
Yeah, I like dressing him up. They have a lot of good outfits, so it makes it nice. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and they did a really great job with incorporating a lot of like the like the Sony IPs in there. So, like the costumes are really, really well done. So that's a lot of fun. But yeah, now so one game that I've been playing right now that's actually kind of surprising. It's definitely a backlog game, backlog series, right? And I definitely want to check it out. I want to try and really dive into these games. I know that there's a lot, and it's, you know, it's definitely a daunting task ahead of me. But I started playing Suikoden. So,
oh wow,
I've never actually played any of them. Like I've played the Tales of Elysium or whatever, or not Tales of Elysium. What was that game? That
the Eiyuden Chronicles.
Eiyuden Chronicles. Yeah. So I played that, and I really like that dynamic. And I guess I just never really put it together because I played at games like that. That's all like Suikoden, you know, clones, right? So I finally just started up the first one. I was looking at it. I'm like, which one do I start with? And I was just like, you know what? It's great. I'm just going to start with number 1. And it's really, really fun, man. Like I didn't realize it was that much fun, but it's like that game looks really great, right? Like the animations are really clean. The combat's amazing. I will say like I guess the inventory system is the only thing that's a little annoying in the first one.
Oh, yeah.
But besides that, like I have no real complaints, right? Like the attacks are really great. Like it's interesting because you don't really see a lot of RPGs that have more than the base like 3 or 4 characters in the front, right? So I like this whole like combo system that's there, or the unite attacks that are available. There's already like one of the things I thought was really amazing that they had in there, and like it kind of blew my mind for being like an older game, is such a great quality of life thing, was the free will option in battles, which I thought was really interesting. So like in typical, you know, turn-based RPGs fashion, for those of you guys that know, you know, you select attack and then you go and like you pick whatever move that you want to do for each one of your characters. Now you can have 6 characters out in the map, and so like that task can take a little while, especially if you're in the open world and you're just fighting a bunch of random enemies that you don't want to spend your magic or do any of that kind of stuff, right? So like there's an option that's just free will, and it just sets it to everyone attacks, right? And I was like, that's such a clever thing to put in in such an older game that I wish that more like modern RPGs had something like that, right? Like know that there are some RPGs that have like do whatever you did last, right? So like
Hmm.
you set one up and it just kind of like you can pick that again. But I like this idea of just like free will go, right? Like having that kind of option. So I thought that was really, really clever whenever it came to the battle system there. But I'm actually really excited to play through this. I like the pixel art is phenomenal. I'm digging the story already. Like I'm not too far into it, just a couple hours in, and having your best buddy get like you take the chaos rune out of his hand and he's being like stolen by a witch. Turns out he's like 300 years old, and you're like, oh my god, what's actually happening here? So like I'm really excited to like see the world. And I know that this other Suikoden games like are in the same world, right? But like different timelines kind of thing. For the most-
2 is tied to the first game, and I think that's it.
I think I heard that 5 was like 150 years before the first one.
Yeah, I think
So.
5 is connected, but I don't think 3 and 4 are.
Okay.
I think they're kind of separate from my understanding. It's been a long time.
Okay. But no.
But it's definitely like not the same like world map or towns or anything.
Okay. No, I'm just excited to play through it finally. I didn't think I don't know why I just never jumped in. I think one of the big things that always kind of scared me was the like in the first one alone, it's like, oh, there are 108 characters that you can recruit. Like that, just hearing that number sounds like so daunting. But then if you look at like how long it takes to beat the game, it's like 20 to 30 hours. It's like, how the hell are you going to get 100 characters in like 20 and 30 hours, right? Like, so I'm very curious about that.
So basically, this is how the timeline goes. 4 is the prequel that's 150 years before the first game.
Okay.
5 is direct sequel to 4. And then it's 1, 2, and then 3 takes place, looks like 16 years after.
Okay.
And I mean, but it's not like you need to play these games to like understand them. Like they're all kind of standalone.
Right.
I know with the sequel, there are some little like nods back to the first game. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to hear you talking about it because I love this series a lot.
Mm-hmm.
3 for me, I have replayed many times when I was a teen. I remember getting that game brand new and being so excited about playing it because even back then, Suikoden 2 was expensive.
Right.
This was like probably mid 2000s, like 2004, 2005. Those copies were still going for like $80, almost $100. I mean, now it's even higher. But to me, I love it because there's a huge cast of characters who do have personalities, and the castle building that you do in it is always really fun, and the different battle systems. So I don't know how far in you are, but like there's like the traditional battle, there's duels, and then there's like the wars. And the duel system is really unique, because I mean, in the end of the day, it's just a rock, paper, scissors kind of thing, but it's done in a very interesting way that feels very energetic and interesting. And then the war battles are really fascinating too. And I think, if I remember right, 1 and 2 have the same kind of style, and I think 3, they kind of changed it to be more like slower paced. But yeah, 1 is really fun. I liked it. 2, I mean, there's a reason why 2 is usually rated one of the best RPGs on the PlayStation, because the story in that was just shockingly dark for the time. And man, that game is good. That it has a really good war time story to it that I think, I mean, I'm happy that the HD, remasters have come out for those first 2 games, because Suikoden games to me it's a really good franchise. And the only one I haven't really played is 4, because back in the day, magazines, the internet were all like, this game sucks. It's bad. Don't play it. It's the worst thing to happen. And, I was like, well, money's tight. I'm not going to get it.
Right.
Obviously, nowadays, revisionism is a big thing. So now people are kind of looking back at these games that were, pooped on. And I think people have kind of come around where they're like, it's not as terrible as people say, but it's definitely not the best in the series. So I'm curious about it because it definitely is different, right? It deals more with being on boats in the water.
Okay.
So I'm curious about that. I liked 5. I didn't beat 5, but I got pretty far into it. But I've beaten 1 through 3. And yeah, it's an awesome series. I've actually been thinking, I think, did I add it to my backlog list? I don't think I did. But I was going to put Suikoden 4 on there and possibly get to that this year because that's been one I really want to actually see what it's like.
Yeah.
And see if it's really as bad as people say. But,
I doubt it. I mean, it's the same. It probably follows a very similar formula, right? Like, it can't be. I'd just be happy to.
Yeah, I'd just be happy to have the.
Just playing that world.
Collecting 108 people. Yeah. So I'm excited to get to that at some point.
Is it safe to say that everyone that has a character portrait is unlockable as a character? Like, that's kind
pretty
of
much, yeah.
Looking at it, because there's a lot of people you talk to that don't have a character portrait, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, this person has a full animated portrait. Like, they wouldn't do the work for just someone that's just there, right? Like,
yeah, basically anyone with a portrait will be recruitable at some point.
Okay, that's cool. So, that's good to know. So,
yeah, I don't know. Villains is a little different, but aside from that, like random people in the town, yeah, they're pretty much recruitable.
Right. No, I'm very excited to play through this one. It's been a long time coming, honestly. So, and I can't believe how good it looks for a PlayStation 1 game. Like, that's what kind of is blowing me away. Like, I'm not playing the remaster. I'm playing the PlayStation 1 version. And it's like, this looks really, really good regardless, right? Like, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I mean, all those games for the time, I think, looked really good. Like 1 and 2 looked great. And then even for the 3D ones with 3 and up, I'm like 5 looks really good.
Yeah.
For the time. So, yeah, they were really cool games. Nice. I'm excited to kind of get back into them too at some point.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. What else are you playing on your docket?
So, the next 2, one is really short. The other one is a DLC. But the short one, I'll go first, is the Exit 8. So this came out, I think, a year or 2 ago. And I think it kind of went viral for a little bit because it kind of plays on that like liminal kind of like weird aesthetic, right? Mm-hmm. So basically, they're making a movie on this, or I think they already did. Because I saw Kojima talk about it and said it was actually a good movie.
They made a movie on it? Oh, they did?
Yeah, apparently people say it's actually really good. Huh. So I'm curious how you turn like a technically 30-minute game into a movie. But for those that don't know, you are walking down this Japanese like train hall and you're trying to get to the Exit 8. So as you're walking down, a man walks by you on his phone. You see all these signs on one side. You see doors on the other side. But as you walk, you keep realizing, oh, I'm still at Exit 0. What's going on? So in order to advance to the next exit, you have to find like an anomaly or like something that's different in the hall in order to advance. So, maybe one time you walk by and the vents to the right start bleeding like a black liquid. So instead of going forward, you turn backwards and then it registers that you found that. And then you go through and then now you're at Exit 1. And if you don't find anything off, you just keep going forward. You get Exit 2, so on and so forth. And there's a bunch of things you can find. And some of them are kind of crazy and kind of creepy, which is really cool. And I think overall, I ended up finding all of them. And I think it only really took about an hour Like I was enjoying it so much. I wanted to see all the little like random stuff to find.
Mm-hmm.
So it was cool. I mean, it's a cheap game too. It's on PlayStation Plus, so I just played it there. But I think it's only like $5 or $10, which if it's $5, I enjoyed it for that time. But it's cool. I like those kind of like games like that where it's like odd and different.
Right.
And I can see why people kind of freaked out about it because these kind of games like normally aren't that interesting, but the way this is done is like constantly kind of unsettling, but at the same time it's just kind of chill. I don't know, it's a weird way to kind of describe it, but
it feels like these games definitely got like a resurgence or like their time in the sun, like especially last year. I feel like quite a few of those like liminal space games came out, or like observation duty or whatever, right? Like there's a lot of those like spot the difference horror movies, or not movies, movie games, right? Like
definitely with horror. Yeah. That really became kind of like a big thing out of nowhere.
Yeah. They're fun though. Like I get it. And they're actually really like, I feel like they got really big because of streaming. It's fun to watch someone play those kind of games, right? So, and especially something like this, like I watched someone playing this one and it was a lot of fun just watching them run through it all. And like you seeing a difference and them not catching it and then like them getting, right? Like it is interesting seeing it that way. So yeah, some good stuff there.
Yeah, that was something quick that I finished. And then the other thing, so years ago, I played The Division 2 with a buddy, and I liked it. I'm not much for looter shooters, but this one I just kind of like. I like the dark zone extraction shooter part of it too.
Mm-hmm.
And every time a DLC has come out for it, we've kind of played it together and kind of had fun. And a new one came out not too long ago where you go to like Brooklyn, and the story of The Division 2 is like, a virus broke out. This was before COVID, and poisoned a bunch of the world, right? So you're kind of dealing with the aftermath of what a pandemic can do.
Mm-hmm.
And, realistically speaking, I mean, if we would have gone on the chaos, I could see this game being a reality, but
we're on our way there, so don't worry.
Yeah, we're on our way to The Division, But this DLC, it's funny because we started playing and then we started just playing the base game and the new stuff they've added because we haven't touched it in years. So there's all this new stuff in it. So we're kind of just getting back in Division 2, and it's like, after finishing Sackboy, we needed a new co-op game.
Right.
And sneak peek into a future episode, we are working our way through Resident Evil 5 co-op, so that'll be fun to talk about.
That one's so much fun co-op. That one's great. The final
I only know one thing
amazing
about that game.
Hell yeah.
So I'm excited. And so I'm stoked. But for now, The Division 2, it's weird because I'm the kind of person that's like, I like playing things that just end and then I move on to the next game. But in this, it's almost kind of like weirdly cozy, just going in, just having like a power fantasy, just shooting and being up against the odds. And this game is pretty good with that. The DLC, the storyline is actually decent. I like it. And it's a good little, I don't know if time waster is the right word, because I think it is done well. But
that's another series that I never really like dove into. But like I feel like that's a whole genre that I've kind of avoided. I don't know, there's something about shooters I just don't jump into.
So Massive, the people that make it, were the ones that made Star Wars Outlaws, and honestly, like, the gunplay is the same as Star Wars Outlaws, so I mean, like, just play Star Wars Outlaws.
Okay.
If you want like a story, because I mean the gunplay feels a lot like it, so yeah but sense. I'm having fun with it. I am working through some of the other games on the list in the background quietly and slowly, but these were all games that like I could finish quickly and easy. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm loving this list that we made, because it's just like, it's easy to be like, I'm gonna pick this game for the night and just work on it, playing it. And I feel like I'm actually like playing games I've always wanted to. So I love it.
Nice. Hell yeah. Yeah. All right. So the last little game that I want to talk about today, it's one that I'm still very early on, and it's one that really surprised me. I didn't hear about it, didn't really know anything about this. It showed up on Game Pass, and I liked the cover art. But then when I started playing it, I was like, oh my God, this is an amazing game. It is MIO, Memories in Orbit. It's a Metrovania, action adventure game, however you want to, categorize it. But it's so good. It's so good, and it's so aesthetically pleasing. It's made by a French developer, and what's great is like I love the character design. You're this little tiny little robot, right? And when you first wake up, everything looks really desolate, right? Like everything is kind of broken down and all that. And you even walk past this, I don't know how to explain it. It's so interesting though. It's like a very almost angelic robed robot where the robes are its tendrils that it uses to pick up things. It's very interesting looking. It the aesthetics of this are so bizarre, but they are in this empty fountain, right? And they're asking for your help, but they don't really clarify exactly what it is that you need to do to help them, right? And with most Metroidvania games, you got your Hollow Knights and stuff. If you get killed while you're exploring, you drop a soul and then you have to go back and get it. This one doesn't do that. It actually got rid of that system.
Ooh.
So, but you do still lose those points, right? But what's interesting, especially in the beginning of the game, it's not super clear that robot in the fountain, every time you die, all your points get put into the fountain, and it's slowly starting to fill up. And once enough points are there, that actually unlocks the map and more conversations with this little character here. And because they reconnect to what's called the spine. And from behind them, this giant robotic looking spine stabs into the fountain. And then now you're plugged into the system. So you actually have a full on map to see where you're going. Right. So it is a very interesting system there. It does have some NPCs that you find after you unlock the map. That you can crystallize your, basically, let's just call them experience orbs. I think they're called notch orbs or natch. I can't remember exactly. But you can crystallize them. So if you do die, then you get to keep them, right? That's the system it has in place. But you never really feel, or at least I haven't felt that much of a loss, right? Because there's still so much interesting things going on, and just kind of freely exploring the world is fascinating. Because I will say that movement is very, very clean already, especially with this artistic styling that it has. It has a very hand-drawn style, a very artistic cell shading that is very, very fascinating to look at throughout the whole game. Things start getting kind of darker and all that. It's very tonally beautiful. It almost has a watercolor feeling to it, which is really nice. But one of my favorite aspects of this game is that whenever you get a new ability, it throws you into the computer to learn the ability itself. And it creates this little mini game setup, right? Where it's basically the game itself, right? But you are line work now. So instead of being a full fleshed out character, you just look like a line drawing, and it's a glowing line drawing. The platforms are all line drawings, things like that, right? And it's just an area for you to play with the new ability that you just unlocked before you jump back into the real world. And the visuals of that is basically you going into the computer to then learn that new update for yourself, right? Because you're a little tiny robot guy. So it's a very clever design aspect there. Because I don't know, there's something about it that's just really beautiful to look at on its own there. And then you get back into the real world where everything is just so colorful and just so vibrant. There's a lot to look at and kind of appreciate here. So I am very excited to continue playing through it. I think one of the coolest things is that out of your head, you have these little tentacle dreadlocks that are kind of following you. And then that is actually there's a spider climb ability where those tendrils kind of come out from behind you, and they hook onto the wall, and you can climb up the wall that way. or there's like a whip thing where it's basically like a grappling hook, right? So you like whip them out in front of you, and it's I don't know. There's something amazing about the traversal of this that really rewards players to try out new things. So you start off with the double jump, which is fantastic. For those of you who play Metrovanias, like you have to learn that usually, and it takes forever. And like traversal feels really slow. But this is a more, I want to say that there's a lot more momentum built into this game than other Metrovania games, right? Where like you have your double jump, and then if you attack in the air, you kind of stall for a second, or like you can time your jumps where like if you jump, attack, then double jump, like you can get further than you think that you normally would. So there's a lot of really cool stuff there. But then like there are like one of the first areas you can get to, there's a lot of ice slopes, which when you walk on it, it forces you to walk even faster. And then if you jump, you get propelled forward, right? Like, so it's really playing a lot on the terrain, the momentum, and like you just kind of zipping around. And I can see like once you get more like movement abilities, like I have a feeling you're going to be able to just run around like crazy in this map, and it's going to be so much fun. So like I'm really looking forward to playing this more because it's pretty amazing so far.
It looks really cool. You know, the Metroidvania, it's become such a flooded market, right? Yeah. Like good and bad games every year flood that genre, and it's easy to kind of look and be like, well, what's really new about these, right? And I know a lot of people were looking at the Prince of Persia Lost Crown as like, oh, this is one done really well from like a AAA team kind of thing. And then other ones have come out, like Ultros was very like stylistic. Like I think when it comes to these kind of games, the stylistic ones are always unique to me because it makes it stand out, right? Because otherwise it's almost always the same thing, right? Like, oh, play 2 hours of the game, then you finally get double jump, and then so on and so forth. But this one, I like the idea of it.
Right.
And it's, I don't know. For me, I'm kind of a sucker for the genre. I haven't really played one other than Silk Song in a while, which I need to go back to. But it's, I think also just because those games are usually a little longer than I kind of want them to be. Like, that's why I love Symphony of the Night, because it's like the perfect length. And some of these games go for like 30 hours. And I'm like, I don't know. That's a lot of backtracking and doing stuff for 30 hours. And so that's why I've kind of been like staying away from those games. But I don't know. This kind of gives me the itch where I'm like, I kind of want to try it out. I don't know. I have been in the mood for one of those kind of games lately.
Well, it says like main story is like 16 hours. Right, so you're looking at 16 to 20 hours of playthrough. So that's not bad at all for games like this. And I have a feeling it's going to get really like story heavy, or like at least have something really interesting to say. That's kind of the vibe that it's giving off. So yeah, super stoked to see where it goes. So definitely recommend. All right, well, I think that's going to do it for us this week. I hope you guys have enjoyed this little conversation as we dive into a bunch of really great games across our backlog and new games as well. But anyway, we'll talk to you guys next week with some more games and all that good stuff. Actually, next week, we're going to be doing Eco, right? So we are going to be concluding our book club for January, as well as announcing our game for February as well. We already got it picked up. We got it lined up for you guys, so we're really excited to share that with you. But you're going to have to check in next week with us to figure out what that game is. But anyway, we'll talk to you guys next week with some more games and all that good stuff. Until then, bye for now.